Zambia stands out as one of the prime tourism destinations in Africa, offering many tourism attractions which may be categorized as natural and cultural in nature. The Northern Circuit boasts of the beautiful Chishimba Falls, Kapisha Hot Spring, Nsumbu National Park, Nyamkolo Church, built by Dr. David Livingstone, and the banks of Lake Tanganyika, among others. Today, we are looking at educational tourism with our main focus on Little Poland Academy, a beautiful school in the heart of Mbala town, an emerging education tourism destination. Follow me, Tamara Mswala, as we showcase what Mbala has to offer.
Little Poland Academy, your child's future is our inspiration.
Educational tourism, also known as edutourism, is a subtype of the travel and tourism sector. Many scholars have described educational tourism as a program through which participants travel to a location as a group with the primary purpose of engaging in a learning experience directly related to the location. Study abroad experiences or relocating from bigger cities to study in smaller towns or countryside, school trips, seminars and vacations are a few examples of educational tourism, which is a trending type of tourism in many world regions, and Zambia is not left out. A visit to Northern Province is not complete without visiting Mbala, the home of the second deepest waterfalls in Africa, the Great Kalambo Falls. The Motomoto Museum, which was opened in 1974, a brainchild of a French-Canadian Catholic priest, Jean-Jacques Cobel, and the Tanganyika Victoria Memorial Institute, built in 1852, are among the notable tourist attractions found in Mbala. This is the Cenotaph, where the German forces in East Africa, commanded by General Paul von Lotto-Vorbeck, surrendered their arms to British General W.F.S. Edwards, which were later thrown in Lake Chila, signifying the end of the First World War on 25th November 1918. Near this place lies Little Poland Academy, a learning institution which is arguably the best elementary school in Mbala district, known for its exceptional performance in the academic circles.
Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
During and after the Second World War, a number of Polish refugees fleeing the Soviet Union were settled in various parts of Southern Africa. The last of these camps were located in Mbala from 1943 until 1948. The site was dubbed Little Poland and housed approximately 600 Polish refugees. The camp is not only remembered by Little Poland Street in Mbala town center and the 18 graves of the Pioneer Cemetery, but also by this school, which derives its name from this land on which it is built and was established in 2015, at the time the graves of the 18 Polish refugees were restored by the Polish Embassy in South Africa and are marked with white gravestone and steel crosses. At the groundbreaking ceremony during the construction of Little Poland Academy, a couple of Polish tourists who came to see the graves of their forefathers from Poland and Pastor Silondwa, Mbala chairperson for Pastors Fellowship, blessed the land as they laid the foundation stone. For the past 7 years, the school has been offering kindergarten and primary education. Plans of introducing a fully fledged secondary school are underway as soon as the project of constructing modern hostels is completed. Unlike most private schools that are owned by people who are not teachers or professionals with less education background, Little Poland Academy is owned by a team of highly talented, educated and dedicated teachers who understands the dynamics of education. Mr. Mlenga Alfonso Mbanga, the director of Little Poland Academy, is an energetic licensed education administrator by the Teaching Council of Zambia. He is a seasoned academician with hands-on teaching experience at preschool, primary and secondary levels respectively. He is also a teacher in the Ministry of General Education, thus blends both the public school teaching style together with the world-class private schools teaching style to come up with a product that many parents and education stakeholders have appreciated. He now tells us the mission, vision and purpose of the school.
Our mission is to disseminate knowledge through effective teaching and learning. Our vision is to always be a smart school that shall continuously provide world-class education and holistic learning at international levels of excellency.
Our purpose is to brighten up the education system in Zambia and prepare an education faculty that is able to deal with the latest technology in a clever way, as well as interacting with the scientific revolution in the ICT industry that shall benefit the people of the northern region and the nation at large.
Lizzie Makia Mlenga is an assistant director in charge of finance and administration. She is equally a seasoned educationist and highly qualified accountant with vast experience in teaching and lecturing. She now tells us the type of curriculum that this school follows.
Basically, we embrace the policy direction of the Ministry of General Education, and as such, we follow the newly revised Zambian curriculum. Actually, it is a very good curriculum once well implemented, and one of the best curriculum in Southern Africa. Above all, we also borrow some teaching techniques from the British curriculum just to spice it up and make teaching and learning a fun experience.
Through educational tourism, many experts have noted several benefits of learning in a countryside, such as small class size that promotes individualized learning as a result of reduced teacher-pupil ratio. Research has also shown that conduciveness of the learning environment also contributes towards the effective teaching and learning process of the pupils. I spoke to the expert, Mrs. Kelby Mwape Chizuka, who is Mbala District Education Board Secretary, to give us a clear picture about the learning environment at Little Poland Academy and why she decided to take her child at this historical school, and now she has this to say.
The environment is very conducive. It is quiet, clean, green and healthy, and that is the policy direction. Every learning institution must be clean, green and healthy. And usually the environment speaks volume. When you go to environments, even a home, when you go to a school, you can tell from the environment that things are happening, teaching and learning is taking place there. But if you see a confused situation, there's no order, in short, there's a lot of order at that school. After monitoring the school, I realized that their learners were doing very well. And I also monitored the teachers who are very committed. And there are certain strategies that we use to improve learner performance, like homework policy, remedial work, interpersonal relationship between the teacher and the learner. It was there. I noticed that when I took my son there, the performance was far much better than where he came from. And despite the boy getting 90%, 80%, you find that maybe you'll be at position 8, meaning there's a lot of competition. And where he came from, he was not doing very well. But there he has been doing very well. And even the child had developed that interest in school. Whenever he comes home, he's always on his doing his homework. I think there is no private school that can compete with him in terms of teaching and learning.
School Health Nutrition Program is a government policy tailored to ensure that pupils are fed whilst in schools. Despite some schools having neglected this, Little Poland Academy understands that good nutrition and school feeding program cannot be ruled out in the provision of quality education, as this improves class attendance and active learner participation in class, thereby improving pupil academic performance. Mr. Joseph Siame is Mbala District Manager for Scaling Up Nutrition and Technical Assistance. He explains that his program is aimed at reducing stunting in children, as there is a direct link between poor feeding of school-going children and their class performance. Mr. Edwin Mumba, nutrition specialist at Mbala District Health Office, also alluded that if a child is not fed well, there will be a reversal in the growth of the child that also in turn negatively affects the child's performance in class. He has further commended Little Poland Academy for implementing the school feeding program well, as it adds on improving learner performance.
The poor development of a child will affect the participation in class. So the relationship is there. Good eating also helps you to think in a positive way.
Let the child be malnourished, you will find that there will be a reversal to do with the brains here, the intellectual capacity of the child.
In terms of academic performance, government, through the Office of the District Commissioner, has also noted that the school is doing its level best in Northern Province, as evidenced by the results it's able to produce, especially at grade 7 level. The school has also improved literacy levels in Mbala district, as children who pass through Little Poland Academy are able to read and write effectively to the satisfaction of the community and the general acceptable standards.
Little Poland Academy is trying to improve the education sector in terms of the results that they are able to produce. And also when it comes to children breaking through, so that they are able to read and write effectively. Children are able to break through without difficulties to a level that is acceptable to the community.
Parents who are outside Mbala or Northern Province, especially those in bigger cities like Lusaka and Copperbelt, should not get worried when they are transferred to come and work in Northern Province. Little Poland Academy is equal to the task, as Mbala Debs clearly puts it that currently there is no any other private school that can be compared to Little Poland Academy in Mbala, and at provincial level the school is competing favorably well. Academically, there is not much difference between mission schools such as St. Francis, St. Teresa, Lubushi and Little Poland Academy.
The school should scale up. They should not just end at grade 7. Through that, we'll be able to maintain the learners at the same school. Currently, what is happening, most of us parents from there would not want them to go to any other school. We are fighting now for St. Francis, Lubushi, the mission schools. Because for those, there is not much difference between mission schools and Little Poland.
I spoke to a number of head teachers in technical high schools just to find out about the performance of pupils who come from Little Poland Academy to pursue high school education. Mr. Joseph Mkandawire is the head teacher and at one of the best performing high schools in Northern Province, Mpulungu Boarding STEM School. He has described the performance of pupils from Little Poland Academy as very encouraging and has ever been the best pupils the school has ever received so far.
So we have picked quite a number of them from Little Poland. I'm sure there are even other schools where testimony has been given that the children from this school are really good because of the foundation that has been given to them. So far, the performance of these children from Little Poland is really encouraging and has ever been the best so far.
The efficient and effective administration of schools should not be left entirely on an internal thing or be left for just the school administration alone. This is because for the school to be able to do well in every ramification, the useful inputs from external sources have to be thoroughly considered and implemented. One of those useful external sources is the Parent Teachers Association, PTA, also known as PTCs, which Little Poland Academy has not left out. The school works hand in hand with parents and guardians so as to foster the school development and provision of quality education. Mr. Jacob Chimbokaila is the school PTA chairperson and now explains the school relationship with the community.
The relationship with the teachers have with the community, I can describe it as healthy. Why? One, they are well trained, they are good fearing. Even just the way they carry themselves in society, you are able to tell, to say, okay, this one is a teacher and this is how they ought to behave. I think it is a school which is preferred by most parents in the community.
Mr. Wesley Simwanza is Senga Hills District Planning Officer, who is also the school PTA Vice Chairperson. He alluded to the roles of the PTA, which among others include representing the views of parents to the school so as to offer solutions on better ways to administer the school, and also to keep parents informed about activities planned for the school.
PTA, we are very accommodative, we respect their views and their opinions. This is why we want to try by all means so that we strike the balance, so that we represent both interests from the community and the school.
Mr. Frederick Chilambwe is Mbala District Social Welfare Officer, who has described Little Poland Academy as an excellent learning institution that offers quality education to children in Mbala District. He has, however, appealed to Little Poland Academy to have a deliberate policy to assist the less privileged children with bursaries based on academic performance as one way of uplifting the community without leaving any pupil behind.
I believe it's an excellent institution that offers quality education to the children. I took my child there when she was just a baby class. I've seen her improve she is in grade 3 now, so I've seen how she performs. It's quite impressive. I don't have any complaint. I would like the Little Poland Academy to put in place a deliberate policy to be sponsoring less privileged children based on merit. That is those that are enrolled at the school. If they perform, for example, this time they perform so well, they are offered some sort of sponsorship for a particular period of time.
The school director, Mr. Mlenga, explains that in its capacity, Little Poland Academy is currently sponsoring 10 pupils each year on full bursary and 30 pupils on 30% bursary, bringing to a total of 40 pupils each calendar year. He is, however, quick to mention that the school is looking for partners such as donors, individuals, and organizations that can come on board and adopt the school fees for one or more pupils who are gifted but less privileged, so as to increase the number of scholarships.
So basically, we are looking at the sponsors that can come on board, such as the individuals and other organizations that can also come and take up the sponsorship of these children, so that we can increase on the number of the pupils who are on bursary. And we are also looking at continuing sponsoring these kids, so that even when they go to secondary schools or senior classes, they are able to be sponsored until such a time when they finish grade 12.
Abigail Nanyangwe is a former school head girl and one of the beneficiaries of this scholarship from Little Poland Academy. She is now doing her secondary education at Mbala Boarding Secondary School and has this to say.
My name is Abigail Nanyangwe. I'm a former student at Little Poland Academy. I'm doing my senior secondary at Mbala Boarding Secondary School. Little Poland Academy has helped me in terms of education. The school sponsored me from grade 2 until I completed my primary course. And now they have also taken up the responsibility of my secondary education. I wish to encourage other cooperating partners to continue working with Little Poland Academy so that the school can sponsor more boys and girls.
The school does not only help the community through its corporate social responsibility, but has also created both direct and indirect jobs to the people of Mbala, such as subsistence local farmers and butchery shops that supplies the school with farm fresh vegetables, chickens and beef to feed the pupils on a daily basis. Stationery shops have also not been left out, as they too supply assorted teaching and learning materials such as reams of paper, flip charts, manila papers, chalks, pens and pencils, among other things.
Ndetotela sana nebona kulofa pachulu ngoma ndasitisha tomato no msalu ndeta papa Little Poland pasukulu ifyo ifisunga abana besukulu ndetotela nififine vale tusunga
manene kulalisha kaomba ya mati ngoja kucha ya sana kuya kukola hapa hivi kuchapisha na koma kukala nyama niko kozi ndio natanisha ana hizo basi hadi hapa koma yetu ya kutwapa na kuya bango yetu kutaisha sana.
Mbala District Commissioner Maybin Chivalange is also happy with Little Poland Academy as it is supplementing towards government efforts by employing trained teachers who have not yet had a chance to be employed by government. The District Commissioner has also called for the expansion of Little Poland Academy in terms of additional land, infrastructure and enrollment that will attract parents from other provinces, as he noted that the school is equal to the task and on the right track towards provision of quality education.
So we need that school to expand in terms of infrastructure. We need that school to expand in terms of enrollment. We need that school to expand in terms of even the areas where the school is situated, from where it is to a level that it will be also be recognized by these other provinces, so that even parents from other provinces would be able to bring their children to that school.
For me, I heard it from the colleague of mine. For him, when he came here, precisely in Mbala district, the boy was not performing well where he came from, Esaka. When he came here, he found that the boy could be able to read and write, and he did very well at grade 7. So for me, I took my daughter there, and my boy is now in grade 1. I can say that the boy is able to read. My daughter, she had flying colors, which I'm very proud of even as a parent. So for me, Little Poland Academy is the best where parents can come and enjoy that they will get the best quality of education for their children. So for me, I trust Little Poland. They're able to tutor the kids the way they want them to be. Little Poland in Mbala is one of the great private schools that is there, where they can receive quality education the way it is anywhere in Lusaka, name it in Ndola, Kitwe, the central province, which is Kabwe, southern province, Livingstone. Little Poland has brought that live road in Mbala where you can take your kids and you are able to know that they will deliver according to their expectation.
The main reason why I took my child to Little Poland is when we came to Mbala, people recommended that there is a good private school in town where I could take my child for early child education. So I tried the Little Poland Academy for the first year when my child was in early child education class. I was satisfied with the service that my child received from the school. I could see that early on the child could read, he could also write. So I became satisfied with the school. So that's how the child proceeded to grade 1, grade 2. This time my child is in grade 5. So looking at what the child can do in terms of written, spoken work, I'm satisfied that the school is doing the right thing. So I think I would encourage other parents to take their children to Little Poland Academy, because to start with, their fees are very reasonable, very, very reasonable, in fact, affordable. So parents can manage. And looking at the service that our children are receiving from the school, I think it is worth that parents can take their children to Little Poland Academy. A lot of friends of mine who are taking their children to the school are satisfied with the service that our children are receiving from there.
My child at grade 7, she scored 785. Yes, I think that was the best of the best in Mbala. Yes, because of the knowledge staff are committed to school, they are committed to pupils, they are committed to work. Yes, I think with that commitment, actually they made my child to do very well.
I chose the Little Poland Academy because I believe they offer quality education, excellent education to our children.
I noticed that when I took my son there, the performance was far much better than where he came from. And despite the boy getting 90%, 80%, you find that maybe he'll be at position 8, meaning there's a lot of competition. And where he came from, he was not doing very well. But there he has been doing very well. And even the child had developed that interest in school. Whenever he comes home, he's always doing his homework. In short, the learners are kept busy at all times. And that is what is needed for a learner. I think there is no private school that can compete with him in terms of teaching and learning. For those, there is not much difference between mission schools and Little Poland.
A visit to Mbala is not complete without learning the culture of the friendly Mambwe Lungu people and the spectacular Umutomolo ceremony. Chief Nondo explains the rich culture of the Mambwe Lungu people and the importance of Umutomolo ceremony.
Umutomolo ceremony is a ceremony that is celebrated by the Mambwe Lungu of the province. This ceremony mainly signifies the eating of the first fruits in the year. Actually, when you say Umutomolo, if you want to translate it in English, that is tasting. So we are tasting what people are produced from different fields. And when we are doing that, crops are brought together, be it maize, oil, name it. They are prepared, and then the chiefs from respective chiefdoms are able to come at one arena with their subjects, and any other people where people are invited to come and taste that food. That is it, Umutomolo. So the name Umutomolo is derived from tasting the food that is produced by people, that is the Mambwe and the Oromo. Okay. It's important to celebrate the Umutomolo ceremony because one, it is a unifying factor between the Maori and the Indians. Actually, in the culture norms, we are almost the same. Our practices are the same. So to show people, to say we are the Lungu people, we are able to come together during this ceremony. So that is the importance, is to define the Lungu people, even the other people. Yes, that is the importance.
Indeed, Northern Province and Mbala in particular has a lot to offer in terms of educational tourism. We invite you to visit Little Poland Academy and come and learn more about the history of the Second and First World War, which ended right here in Mbala. Schools, individuals and organizations are free to visit us. We also want to learn more from you. Come, let's share ideas. Visit our website
www.littlepolandacademy.net. Email info@littlepolandacademy.net.
Little Poland Academy, your child's future is our inspiration.
Tukalole kwa kekela we bino ya kuteki Mbalama kabinuko mwitu kumbala tai zenze bataiwe tulole kunikoko jaile mayo ane walila chani mayo anutalila na mayo ane walila chani mayo anutalila. Tukalole kwa kekela we bino ya kuteki Mbalama kabinuku mwitu kumbala tai zenze bataiwe tulole kunikoko jaile mayo ane walila chani mayo anutalila na mayo ane walila chani mayo